My coworker laughed when I reported sexual harassment, so I forwarded the email chain to his mother. Now he's demanding I delete my viral lesbian post showing exactly what happens when IR treats predatory behavior as miscommunication between colleagues. I'd been at Westfield Pet for 6 months when Marcus started commenting on my appearance. At first, it was subtle paired remarks about how that color brings out your eyes or that dress looks expensive. I'd smile politely and change the subject. Then came the messages. Saw you bending over the printer, nice view from my desk. Want to discuss that project over drinks, my place is quiet. When I stopped responding, he escalated to touching a hand on my shoulder that lingered too long, standing unnecessarily close in the elevator, accidentally brushing against me in the break room. Classic predator progression. After he cornered me in the supply closet and whispered that my playing hard to get was just making him try harder, I went straight to Taffer with parents of his messages and a detailed account of his behavior. Derek, the HR director, who is also Marcus's weekly golf partner, listened with a patronizing smile before explaining that Marcus was just being friendly and I was misinterpreting his intentions. When I pointed to the explicit messages, Derek suggested I was taking things out of context and should consider whether my clothing choices were sending mixed signals. I asked for a formal investigation. Derek promised to look into it and sent me back to my desk, which is directly across from Marcus's. That night, I sent a follow-up email to Derek documenting my conversation with Marcus, copying our department head and the company's general counsel. After thorough investigation, we've determined this is simply a miscommunication between colleagues. Marcus has been advised to maintain professional boundaries. We consider this matter closed. What Derek didn't know is that I'd done my homework on Marcus. His Quifteen profile proudly displayed his achievements, including Westfield Employee of the Month and proud graduate of Lakeside Miter. It also listed his mother Patricia Wilson as his inspiration, with a direct link to her profile where she worked as a high school principal whose bio emphasized her commitment to creating safe learning environments free from harassment. I debated my options for 3 days. Then Marcus cornered me again, this time in the parking garage. I know you think you are special, but you are not the first to complain, and you won't be the last. Nobody takes it seriously here. That night, I compiled everything parent, the messages, the AR emails, Derek's dismissal, and a timeline of incidents parent into one document. I wrote a simple message. Mrs. Wilson, I thought you should know what your son considers appropriate workplace behavior. As an educator committed to safe environments, I hoped you might help him understand why this is unacceptable. Her response came within hours. I am appalled and heartbroken. This is not how I raised my son. I promise you this will be addressed immediately. The next morning, Marcus wasn't at his desk or the next day. When he returned a week later, he wouldn't make eye contact with anyone. Derek called me into his office, face ashen, and explains that the company would be implementing new harassment training and Marcus was being transferred to a different department. Patricia Wilson is on our board of directors, he hissed. Why would you involve her in a routine hire matter? I thought she might appreciate knowing how her son treats women, given her professional commitment to safe environments, I replied. Isn't transparency important? The story might have ended there, but last week I received an email from a woman at another company asking if Marcus Wilson was the same person who had harassed her last year. Differently, he'd been quietly let go from his previous job after similar complaints. I posted the entire saga on Fexinin with names changed but emails intact, adding, "This is what happens when companies treat harassment as miscommunication instead of addressing predatory behavior." The post has 87,000 shares and counting. 3 more women have contacted me with similar stories about Marcus. Derek has demanded I take it down, claiming it misrepresents our thorough investigation process. I sent his email to Patricia Wilson with a single question. Is this the thorough investigation you would accept at your school? Some people think workplace harassment should be handled quietly. I believe sunlight is the best disinfectant, especially when that light shines directly into a mother's eyes.